being around certain people, and I'd spend time in the backyard. One such a moment. They're always similar, but I just sat down on the back porch and I was kind of admiring the things around me. It was a beautiful summer night, breezy, moonlit, and just, this is what I was saying when I'd said earlier about trying to be thoughtless, about having that goal. It's not a goal, it just ends up being a result of this thing where you don't need to think, where you've already gotten there. And it's just an appreciation of the things around me completely. Or, I mean, the tree is gone now, but I had gone outside after I had woken up, and I was just, the leaves almost, they were very close to the ground, and it was untrimmed. And I remember just kind of, standing there, and definitely barefoot. But again, no need for thoughts in that moment, because I was too in the moment, and it was perfect. I didn't have to try to not think either. See your addictions with love, because your ego isn't driving you. Your ego is the thing that gets addicted, that builds these programs essentially. It's like a computer. There's loads of different programs. Love is a solvent for that. It is in command of you, not your ego. And then this one was much more recently, and unfortunately, I broke it, which I will be very blunt about. I had spent about a month. I took as much time off work as I could, and all week I would get up and go to this park, and I would spend all day out there, minus the weekends. And at the end of the third week, I was just laying there in the shade of this tree, and it was beautiful, of course, but I was thinking about this certain person that I had talked to, and a lot of other things, and this is my point here. Thought is not pointless, okay? Thought is not pointless. As long as the intent is there, and what you're intending for is pure, then thought is not pointless. You should not, the goal, or, you should not position yourself to try to be thoughtless, and overcome yourself for that position. Again, that's just some pole, you know, this versus that. And it's the thought's much different. It's, I should say imagining. I was imagining because it's more complex and quicker. And so many things rushed into me in that moment. I mean, 40 conversations also, just came to me in seconds, if not more, just all kinds of things. It's just like, know, you gasp. You're like, oh, yeah, like that, like the light bulb, right? It's the culmination of all kinds of things, and then you become again. And this time I didn't cry. I mean, the emotional attachment's different too because it was relieving, I was relieved. I was unpressured because that's what I needed right then, essentially. But I was just giggling and laughing like, like the innocent little being that I was then. And rolling around in the grass and just soaking up all that those moments were right then. It was just perfect for me, And I lay there for a couple more minutes and I was like, okay, let's go do this. So I got up and made some pretty big decisions about the things that I wanted at that point, what I wasn't going to do, and I set off towards, doing those things. And man, the synchronicity afterwards. 'Cause this was there was a very very large span between that moment and any other significant point, especially the last time I had felt love like that. Very long time. Because a lot had happened, a lot had been going on, a lot of the things that I had been doing too that were hurtful. So all the synchronicities. Just I got home and all of a sudden, everyone and their brothers. These people I hadn't talked to in months, longer even. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, out of the blue, hey, you want to do this? You want to do this? Hey, let's do this. I hadn't talked to these people in forever, and it's not like oh, well, see, you just hadn't talked to them in a long time. They're just trying to get a hold of you and hang out. Oh, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like, oh, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. We should hang out. It was just kind of like random hitting me up to do something like it was, an everyday type of thing, which was the significance, and especially the specific people who were getting a hold of me and what they were specifically getting a hold of me to do. Well, there was community bonfire, so I decided to join them. I was like, okay, well, this will be good, this interaction, and I was just bouncing my way back out there and kind of bouncing around, and this is the same day that all, this had happened at the park, and everyone kind of picked up on me, picked up on that because, the energy that flows through you doesn't come from you. It comes from somewhere else. It comes from the whole. It's everything that flows through you, and people pick up on that. And I walk through shopping centers, and people look at me when I walk. Well, in that mode, people look at me when I walk by because, there's just they can tell. They're like, there's something about this, And unfortunately, it can be a problem if someone associates that with you because it was not me. It was, happening through me, but it was not me. This is why he says to love in secret, because if it gets attached to you, then, that's what happens with the Bible right now in Jesus. Get people attached to Jesus and they can't see the love or the truth. So, and there was so much temptation, and I don't know, I gave into it for some reason, and semi-sacrifice, 'cause I ended up talking to this one kid who was attentive, I was talking to him about truth and the various things, and the reading Cedar books, specifically in Anastasia, and I could tell he knew them were true, because he had some synchronicities of his own. He knew about the stuff, and it made sense to him for his life. So there it was, there it was. But since that moment, one day so far, at work, and it's very difficult. I used to be able to do it easy, but essentially I just avoided everyone, stopped worrying, and I was in that mode, pretty much all day, in love the whole day. And I mean, I kind of knew that it would fade after that day because I was insane, or am. I mean, I realize now how destructive all the things that I'm doing are, and I guess that ship has sailed. Maybe if I had made different decisions, things had worked out differently, but I'm not in regret or denial or guilt, but it's just how it is. So, when rocks fall on one path and it's blocked, you go another path, go a different way. But from there you have options, set up camp, set up a village, make life there. Oh, well, path's blocked, let's live here. Okay. Or you backtrack, okay. Or you just do nothing and you try to clear the path. Or, go a different way. So I'm choosing to go a different way because it seems like the best. But to wrap up here, these moments are, more significant than I probably even know. But if there's something I can share, it's that. I mean, there's no looking back from here. I'm not going to deny something. I see something's existence. I am not going to deny it because that is insane. And I don't care what happens or how difficult things get. I don't care. I have to have this because I know it is the truth and it is the way that we should all be. And I realize how important it is to be an example, especially for this type of thing. So I'll have it. I will. Can't say when, but it'll happen. And I'm trying. But the experiences that change you. Oh, actually, there's one important thing that I want to add there. You should not let life affect you. You should not let life change what you are. These experiences, they did not direct me, essentially, they just confirmed things, you know? It's, well, for example, you have something traumatic happen to you. You almost drown while swimming. Do you stop swimming just because of that one thing? Is that one thing gonna haunt you, or do you just keep swimming? Do you one time get food poisoning from a normally harmless plant? Do you not eat that plant anymore? Life and the experience shouldn't change you. But these are specific moments. These are specific moments. It is different than the average experience. And even then, they didn't necessarily change me, they just confirmed things. I saw truth in them, and I extracted a meaning. And that is what can guide